Maybe that's why Uday is getting a lot of inquiries this time around. So, Sunny, thank you for that, Uday. You must thank her personally as well. But, Sunny, since we're talking about powerful performances, you know, we are a part of an industry that often commodifies or objectifies women. But you're one woman who's really taken control of her image, of her brand, of her narrative. What's the most powerful lesson that you've learned as a woman, as someone who's controlled her narrative?
First of all, I just want to talk about the word objectifying. It's such a negative connotation.
Yes.
And I think that you can only be objectified if you allow people to objectify you. And, you know, and the other harsh reality is when you work in entertainment, you put yourself out there, you put your face out there, you are in a film, you're in an ad film, you're creating, you know, different shows. So you are putting yourself out there to be objectified. It's just that that word has such bad baggage. I mean, I look at Hrithik Roshan and I objectify him all the time, but, you know, that's doesn't have a negative feeling to it, does it, when I say that? So I think that we have to change this word.
The definition, yes.
And also, I think you can only be objectified if you let people do that. And I learned a really, really long time ago that the word objectification doesn't have to mean something negative. And if you're true to yourself and you're honest, you have integrity in the work that you do, you're not compromising who you are, then I say go, be objectified.
Yes. For you, you know, becoming a mother, how did that change you? How has that changed your outlook towards work, and how has that changed your outlook towards life?
Becoming a mother was absolutely amazing. It's something that I wanted to do, and I always knew I wanted to be a mother. I always knew I wanted to have children. I had number 3 in my mind, but you know, you never know when you meet your partner what they want. And I got really lucky, and they've changed my world. I get a little bit less sleep. I have a lot more patience. And as far as my work goes with, you know, all these things, it's amazing to be able to do both. And I always tell my children I'm a better mommy as a working mommy. And every mother out there has their own views of what they want and how they want to raise their children. But I do want my children to see that I work hard and that, you know, the things that we have, it doesn't come for free. And we have to work really hard and put in the effort. And with that effort comes, you know, all these amazing things that they love. They're still too young to understand it, but hopefully one day they'll remember that their parents were working parents.
But you know, Sunny, speaking of family, of course, we only see the glamorous side of you and your family, and you have a beautiful family, by the way, touch wood for that. But what's one thing beyond the glamour, what's a small everyday struggle that you face as a working mom, which you feel other women in this room would relate to?
You just can't get enough hugs and kisses. And no matter how much you know you have to walk out the door, just need one last hug, one last kiss, one last something. Talk to me, speak to me, let me hold you. I think that that's always a struggle, but it's so much fun being a parent.
You know, also, I have to ask you about your partner as well, because that plays a very important role, isn't it? How has Daniel played that role? You know, how important is it for women who are watching as well to have such a supportive and, you know, a protective husband and partner?
Sure, I mean, it really just depends on what kind of relationship you have with your partner. For us, we met each other and we were just glued to each other. And we figured out very quickly that we can work together and not hate each other or want to tear each other apart. Our basic fundamentals of business was very, very similar. How we function and how we separate those roles. It was never a sit-down conversation saying, you're going to do this, I'm going to do this. It just fell into place, luckily. And for those women out there who do work with their husbands, there's all the perks, and there's always, you know, maybe you should go out with your buddies tonight, and I'll go out with my friends. But it's it's amazing having a really supportive husband who is very protective. And also, he allows me to be me. I would not be sitting here if it wasn't for him. You know, he moved here with me. He didn't know anything about anybody, about the industry, about how things work, and we literally stumbled, clawed, and had some fun, and worked really, really hard to get where we are. And he's probably more Indian than I am now. I'll tell you a funny story. So we were getting our OCI cards here in India, and he was the only white boy standing in line in this office, and they're like, sir, you're in the wrong area. And he's like, no, I want to have my overseas citizen of India visa. So it's really amazing to see his enthusiasm about being here.
Who's the most strict parent at home, though?
Probably me.
It's always the mother, isn't it?
Well, there's not many rules. It's just don't hit your brothers and sisters, respect each other, respect your family, treat each other with kindness, and, have fun in life. That's it. I mean, it's not so difficult.
Sunny, I just want to ask a slightly, slightly deeper, serious question as well, because in a way, you and your husband, you've created this modern blueprint of what a family would be today. You've had the opportunity to adopt a beautiful daughter. She's so lovely. And you've had your 2 boys through surrogacy as well. So you've embraced a lot of different ways to fulfill that joy of parenthood. What would you want the viewers watching to be an important lesson from your journey? What can you sort of share with us about that experience and the emotional ups and downs, and how did you go through it?
Sure. I'll start with Nisha, who she's adopted. We applied to adopt a child, and it took first of all, it takes a long time, lots of paperwork to go through this entire process. And one day you get a letter that says, you've been matched with so-and-so. And it was Nisha's photo. And I knew from that second that I saw that photo, I go, that's my baby girl. She's mine, and I'm her mother. And it was like instant that you have that feeling inside that that's my child, that's going to be my baby. And without a question in my mind, I knew that we were going to, try our very best to bring her home. And that entire process is very, very emotional. And I got to meet her, and we got to, finish obviously all the paperwork and bring her home. So I wouldn't say that it's necessarily an easy journey, but it's a journey that both my husband and I are willing to, move forward with. And I think that if we can provide her with the tools in life to be a good human and be understanding, and she's extremely, extremely intelligent. She just created her first invention. You guys can go check it out. It's called Boo Box.
Wow.
So my daughter, just like most children, are extremely lazy, and she had really, really bad allergies. And I would come home, there's a pile of tissue papers everywhere. I'm like, Nisha, dustbin is right here. You just have to pick the tissue and put it in the dustbin. And so this went on for, a little while. And my husband came home one day, and he noticed that she had stuck a disposable cup and taped it onto a tissue box. And he started laughing at her, saying, Nisha, this is crazy. I'll just go buy it for you. Like, this is such a cool thing that you've created, but obviously it's a tissue box and a disposable cup. And he started looking on Amazon, Alibaba. He started looking online. He started looking everywhere. And he goes, oh my gosh, Nisha, I think you just invented something that is not on the market. And as parents, we know that she's, like, when I say extremely intelligent, she's extremely, extremely intelligent. And we both looked at her and said, we will nurture this idea of yours, but you're going to do it all on your own. And she went and sat with, you know, someone on AutoCAD, then she went to the lawyer, then we got it patented, then we got, you know, all the prototypes, and she went to all of these different places to look to see what materials she wanted her boo box to be. And, you know, after that entire process, then, you know, we have a final product now, and you guys can check it out.
Yes.
It's amazing. And she just made her first order, and like it's on sale. So, you know, this journey, this is one thing that's an amazing thing that she's done. And then there's also the psychological side that we have to really pay attention to, and we are nurturing. And as she's a lot older now, she's 9, so her emotions are completely different than when she was 3 and when she was 4.
And you have to
So-
continue to evolve, as a mother. This is a completely
Yeah.
new, this is a fantastic, you know, because we often have these interviews with your, you know, getting a lot of applause as well, a lot of parenting tips, I'm sure, for many people, because we have, you know, these conversations with you, and mostly it's on films or an event, and it's great to, you know, get to know the motherhood side of
we
it.
could stay here for an hour, but they only gave us like this much time together, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now let me ask you about, you know, films now and your projects, because you've of course been honored with this Powerful Performances Award. You know, these days in cricket, there's an award called the Game Changer of the Match, given to the player that changes the course of the match for his team. For you, looking at your career in the film industry, which are those 1 or 2 films, songs, you know, projects that you believe have been game changers for you?
I think it was more so songs that really changed a lot of different things for me, like Baby Doll or Layla. But just like in business, it was never about that one film. It was never about that one thing that catapulted into a different direction. It was always about making sure it was a steady stream of work and steady, like, choices of different work to do. And, you know, I still say this now, if I just keep working and I'm in your face all the time, then you're going to want to see me, and you're going to, you know, you're going to want to work with me. So that's something that was really important, because I don't have the background that some actors do, or the families, or even, you know, different support through different agencies if you don't have a family background in entertainment. So we had to figure it out ourselves. So there was no one saying, this is a bad choice, this is a good choice, this is what you should do. The name of the game was just to keep saying, yes, 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 I'll just keep working, whether it's a good choice, bad choice, and we stumbled our way to today.
Yes.
And it's absolutely amazing. I'm very, very proud of our journey.
And we've also, you know, from my first interview, I remember with you to now, we're very proud of आपकी हिंदी की journey भी बहुत अच्छी गई है.
अभी हिंदी टेस्ट आएगा.
नहीं, अच्छी बोल लेते हैं आप. नहीं?
Thank you.
तो एक सवाल हिंदी में अब हो जाए.
Sure.
आपका ये जो अनुभव है अलग भाषाओं में बोलने का भी, अनेक फिल्में जो आपने की हैं, क्या अंतर आपने देखा है बॉलीवुड में काम करना और साउथ की इंडस्ट्रीज में काम करना? क्या फर्क है या आपके लिए एक बराबर है?
उदय ने तो आपका टेस्ट ही ले लिया यहाँ पे.
I see he said Anubhav and this and that. It was like a test just now. But
Essentially, what's your experience been between
no,
Bollywood and
I
South?
understood.
But we would want you to answer in Hindi if you can.
So हिंदी में थोड़ा सा easy था, because both my parents दोनों पंजाबी बोलते थे and हम हिंदी films देखते थे, so थोड़ा सा easier था. But South language, that's difficult, क्योंकि I don't understand, कुछ समझ नहीं आता है, and हर director and producer का अलग तरीका like सिखाने का. And some people say repeat after me. कुछ लोग बोलते इसको memorize करो, and कुछ लोग बोलते सिर्फ blah 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 बोलो and हम dubbing करेंगे.
डब कर लेंगे.
So it just depends.
Yes. Also, something in Hollywood, I think that's coming up soon. Is that correct?
Yes, so we have many different things that happen through the year, but we'll see how that pans out.
Lovely.
So, Sunny, what's the biggest difference in being a celebrity, say, in the US versus India? What's one of the biggest differences that you
यहाँ
felt?
ज़्यादा प्यार मिलता है.
Always, always.
Work is work. So I have a very different view of how I see entertainment, how I see work. And one of those things is always see it as a business, always see it as we need to get from step A to B, and how are we going to get there. And, I love entertainment, but I also have a huge passion towards all the businesses that we run.
Are you a tough businesswoman?
I think I might have scared a couple people this week. Sorry.
And
There was a couple people that were pissed off I was in a meeting.
you're looking the part as well today.
Thank you.
Let's now have a rapid fire to quickly
Absolutely.
conclude. Devika, go ahead.
Sunny, when people look back at your legacy, what do you hope they remember you for?
That I worked really hard.
Are you a beaches person or a mountains person?
Beaches.
What's your favorite cuisine?
Mexican.
What's a superpower that you wish you had?
I want to fly.
What's one thing that still makes you nervous?
What makes me nervous? Falling down those stairs.
Where's the last? There's stairs over there.
No, I know it's
Please-
a long, even though it's 3 steps, it's a long way down when you're
Yes.
falling.
What's the last holiday you took?
The last holiday I took was to America.
What's the one luxury that's underrated?
Time, because we always feel like we're running out. But if you prioritize, you have time for everything.
Well, you are many people's icon today. Who is your icon?
My icons end up being people in business, and when I see success stories and when I read about them and what they've gone in their journey, it is literally like fuel to my fire.
And of course, I have to ask this, a little masala question. But in a fight, who apologizes first, you or Daniel?
मुझे बोलना पड़ता है. Because he's never wrong, apparently. But I'm always right. शायद थोड़ा सा time लगता है to tell him, like, no, actually I'm right and you're wrong. And then he comes back around. Women out there, you know what I'm talking about.
Do you have a favorite co-star? You work with so many.
Favorite co-star? I think it would be one of the shows that I'm on, Run Vijay, Splitsvilla. I have so much fun.
The last show that you binge watched?
I don't want to say it out loud because there's children. But it's a show on Netflix where you watch like beautiful people and that make you want to go work out.
Okay.
And finally, is there the pressure to look good? And how do you counter that?
Absolutely. There is a pressure, but I think that if you can just be happy with yourself and come to terms with this is how things are or how you look, then you're going to do a lot better in life.
With that, Sari, that's all the time that we have. We'll try to have another conversation with you outside as well. But thank you so much for joining us
Thank you.
at the We Women Watch Conclave.
Thank you so much. Let's have a loud round of applause for Sunny Leone, our special guest at the NewsX We Women Want Conclave 2025.
And that takes us immediately to the opportunity for the presentation of the next Shakti Awards. Let me quickly invite the patron of the Shakti Awards, Srimati Shakti Rani Sharma, to kindly come on stage, accompanied by Dr. Aishwarya Pandit Sharma, who is the chairperson of the Sunday Guardian Foundation. Shakti ji, please, and Aishwarya ji, if you could have you on stage, please. I think the granddaughter has also volunteered. All right, the first awardee, of course, is the person you've just had a vivid conversation with. Could we invite Sunny Leone back on stage to receive her award? Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a round of applause. Sunny Leone wins the Shakti Award 2025 for excellence in powerful performances. Let's have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Our next award goes to actor and entrepreneur Sayali Bhagat. Sayali, if we could have you on stage to receive your award, please. Many congratulations to Sayali Bhagat. Let's have another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep it going. We have a lot of power pack sessions coming up next. We're expecting the Union Minister to join us, Dr. Tharoor to join us, and of course, Shabana Azmi, Dia Mirza, Ekta Kapoor are coming up in the next few minutes. Shakti Rani ji, thank you very much, as well as to Dr. Sharma. Thank you very much for joining us and giving away these awards to these truly inspiring women who've made an impact in life.